Well, good morning and happy Monday to you. This is James Hecker, Mortgage Advisor, NMLS number 214601, bringing you the weekly mortgage recap and forecast. And today, November 21st, 2022, is the first day of Thanksgiving week. And so I'm here with these beautiful trees with fall colors. You gotta love fall. It's absolutely gorgeous time of year. And thinking about Thanksgiving, because Thanksgiving is coming up this Thursday, and I kind of reflect sometimes when I'm doing these videos on the history of some of the things that we celebrate and the things that we do. And Thanksgiving, well, the first recorded Thanksgiving by one of the participants was in 1621 by Edward Winslow, which was somebody that came over on the Mayflower in 1620. And it was a harvest festival because they went through the winter of 1620 and it just absolutely devastated the pilgrims that landed there in 1620. Fully half, there were over 100 people that came on that, and there were only 50 left approximately in the fall of 21. And they were really assisted by the local Native Americans there, and given the ability in the spring, to let them know what to plant. And so in 1621 they had an abundant harvest, which of course they were grateful for. And Thanksgiving had been celebrated before that in Jamestown about 1610. There was also a celebration, many celebrations throughout the communities at that time. But this one was the first one that was recorded by one of the participants, and gives us a kind of an insight into what was taking place there. And so in 1863, President Lincoln proclaimed it as a National Day of Remembrance. And what do we remember? Well, we remember gratitude. And gratitude to me is so important. To me, it's really a foundation of the virtues. The virtue of gratitude is at the base of a happy life. The more grateful you are, the happier life you will have. And riches has been described not necessarily as getting everything you want, as much as it is being happy with what it is that you have. And so hopefully we'll have the opportunity to remember that this week as we have time to be with family, experience some of the traditions that we have in Thanksgiving, or even if we're all by ourselves for whatever reason we're by ourselves, we can look back and just be grateful for the things that we have received and that we have been given. And if I would love it if you would share some of the traditions and things that you're grateful in the comments below. What does it mean? What does Thanksgiving mean for you? I would love to hear that. So on to the recap and the forecast. So the mortgage rate recap is that this past week, mortgage rates pretty much remained unchanged. A couple of weeks ago, we had a huge drop in rates. When I say huge, they're still higher than they were, the beginning of the year by quite a bit, but they're off the highs by a significant amount. 2 weeks ago, dropped a lot in just one day, and kind of have kept that range throughout this past week. And, we also have to look at what we're expecting as well. The Feds, several different Fed members kind of said, hey, don't get too excited yet about rates. One of the things that we were looking for, and I talked about a few weeks ago, was the Feds to pivot. And what that means is that they've been raising the discount rate, the Fed funds, 0.75% every time they've met the last 4 times. And just before the last meeting, I had mentioned that economic conditions may allow them to pivot to a slower rate of raising the Fed funds. And maybe when they meet in December and in February, maybe they won't raise it 0.75%. Maybe they'll only raise it 0.5%. they're still going to raise the discount rate several more times. Inflation is still there, and it's going to take a ways to get that under control. And so we're going to see continued increases in the Fed funds, but maybe they'll slow down a little bit. But several of the different members said, hey, don't get too excited yet. And so the forecast, well, this week is expected to be a pretty quiet week in the markets. Hey, you never know, things could change. But the Fed fund, the last meeting, the minutes are coming out on Wednesday. And that can have an impact on the bond market, because then it's the detailed minutes of their meeting when they last raised the discount rate 0.75%. And the economists and analysts will look at that, and they'll look at the direction that the Fed seems to be forecasting or putting out there that they're going to be taking. And so when those meeting minutes come out on Wednesday, there may be no reaction, because it's a slow news week, generally in a holiday week like this. Or depending on whether they say, yeah, things are slowing down and we're good with that, we might not see quite as fast of a raise in the Fed funds going forward. Or if they say, yeah, the economy's still heated up, there's still significant inflation, that might indicate that they expect to raise the rate in December, again, maybe as much as that 0.75%. And that's that economic pain that the chairman Powell had said that we're going to be experiencing before inflation is under control. So that's the forecast for the week. And again, I would really love it if you would comment what are some of the things that you're grateful for? What are some of the things that this Thursday and Thanksgiving are your traditions that you like to experience? Because for me, that's what keeps me grounded. That's what keeps me happy in any circumstance. We all have crosses to bear. And boy, there's a lot of that we've experienced the past several years, especially. And so if we take some time to be grateful for those things that we have, for those things that we are given, such as the beauty of fall, and in Southern California, quite frankly, the bright and beautiful colors of these trees behind me, that's a little bit of a rarity. There are plenty of places in the world where the fall colors and foliage just jumps out at you. But I'm grateful for this little oasis of fall colors here that I'm experiencing right now. And I'd love to know what it is that you're grateful for. What are the traditions that you continue from your family and that you experience with your family that you love? So, again, this is James Hecker, Mortgage Advisor, bringing you my weekly rate recap and forecast. And, please subscribe, please like, so that I can get my message out to more viewers as well. And if you have any need at all to discuss your current mortgage, I'd love to talk to you. If you want to think about buying another property, whether that's moving up, buying your first home, buying an investment property, or a second home. Those are all things that I've spent the last nearly 40 years doing for people, and so have gotten pretty good at it. So I would love to talk to you about that. And so thank you very much. Give me a call at 661-714-2145 if you have any questions, or I can help you or anybody that you care about. And please leave a comment below. Looking forward to seeing you. Take care.